Before we get into this week's video topic, I just want to do a very small experiment. Now, I want you to think to yourself what a skinwalker looks like, and that very first image that pops into your head, be honest, does it resemble my beautiful friend here in any way? Or maybe it looks like a werewolf, or a wendigo, or a crawler, or maybe even something like this. Here's the thing though, none of these are skinwalkers. So in this week's video, we're going to discuss traditional Navajo skinwalker lore, and later on, we'll discuss how pop culture has taken that very same lore and turned it into nothing more than entertainment that resembles this guy here. So, let's get into it. Shedding season. The Skinwalker legend comes from traditions of the Navajo or Diné people of the American Southwest. In Navajo language, the word is naaldlooshii, which translates to, with it, he goes on all fours. It describes a medicine person or witch who has chosen the path of darkness, gaining the power to shapeshift into animals by wearing their skins. Yes, you heard me correctly. Skinwalkers are human. Not ghosts, demons, or some kind of alien. They're human. This, however, is part of a broader system of belief. Among the Navajo community, there are healers called naaldlooshii who restore balance and witches who disrupt it. Skinwalkers belong to the latter. They are practitioners who turn their sacred knowledge into tools for harm. So, how does someone become a skinwalker? According to one of the earliest outsiders to study Navajo witchcraft, Clyde Cluckhone, the path requires committing the ultimate act of evil, often the murder of a close family member or loved one. By spilling the blood of kin, the witch severs all ties to humanity as well as any benevolent spiritual influence. Many accounts suggest rituals involving various chants, symbols drawn in ash or blood, and powders made from bones. Retellings sometimes describe the ritual involving human remains and other parts taken from graves as part of the ceremony. Understand that while details differ and are intentionally obscured to outsiders, the constant theme is betrayal and taboo. Becoming a skinwalker isn't just learning magic, it's choosing evil and deliberately crossing a line that cannot be undone. So, what does this transformation give them? Stories describe shapeshifting as seamless, meaning a person becomes an animal in an instant. Rather than a gory transition which many of us have been led to believe, it is claimed that what makes the change so unnerving is how it breaks natural boundaries. Animals like wolves, coyotes, foxes, and owls are the most common forms taken. Now, these aren't random choices. Each of these animals carries symbolic weight. These animals are top predators, tricksters, omens of death, or known for their strength and cunning. Wearing their skin allows a skinwalker to take their form and use it for malevolent purposes such as pursuit, stealth, flight, and even prolonged surveillance of their victims. They're said to run at unbelievable speeds, leap mesas, and shrug off bullets. Perhaps their most chilling ability is that they can mimic voices, calling out in the cries of loved ones or children to lure their victims. However, it is said that their eyes give them away. Even in human form, they reflect light like an animal's. Some say they glow red in the dark, and additionally it has been stated that meeting their gaze can inflict a type of paralysis. Beyond shapeshifting, skinwalkers are still human who partake in witchcraft. They use powders, charms, and curses to harm others. Some stories say that they can even possess another person's body or forcibly push their will onto them. So, how exactly does a Navajo witch become a pop culture monster? With a bit of digging, it seems that the turning point came in the 1990s at a place now infamous, Skinwalker Ranch in northeastern Utah. When the Sherman family moved there in 1994, they reported cattle mutilations, UFOs, and a massive wolf-like beast that seemed bulletproof. These accounts were documented by journalists and later investigated by the National Institute for Discovery Science that was founded by Robert Bigelow. The ranch became a center for everything weird: UFOs, portals, cryptids, and even though Navajo skinwalker legends didn't originate in Utah, the name stuck. Skinwalker became shorthand for anything paranormal in the American West. From there, the internet ran with it. On TikTok and YouTube, videos of not deer that move wrong or stare too long are labeled skinwalker encounters. Pale humanoids, strange voices in the woods, roadside figures, and even family pets acting out of the ordinary are all branded under one name. Hey, Luna, huh? TikTok says you might be a skinwalker. They telling the truth? Huh? Can you shapeshift? Nah, I think you passed. High five. Movies and TV shows share the blame as well, with incredibly inaccurate representations. Check out this movie, Skinwalkers, for example. Now, allow me to go off script for just a moment. What is this movie trying to portray exactly? Are the Skinwalkers in this werewolves that are also bikers and can morph into eagles? Well, either way, they're not skinwalkers. In the very popular show Supernatural, in Season 6, an episode titled All Dogs Go to Heaven, the lead protagonists are hunting a skinwalker, which is nothing more than a man who can shapeshift into the form of a dog. Apparently, he also has the hots for the woman who believes he's just a family pet. Yikes. And in a more recent film, again titled Skinwalker, I'll give it credit for doing a better job portraying them than the other two, but unfortunately it makes them out to be something more along the lines of a demon rather than a human. Throughout the movie, it possesses different people, and at one point it's even instantly dispelled by a charm. Now, some of the most talked about stories include highway encounters such as drivers on remote roads that reported being chased by animals at highway speeds, only to glimpse at human faces in their rearview mirrors. Campers also describe seeing a coyote crawling unnaturally before it stood upright, humanoid, and hairless, then sprinted away at impossible speeds. And one of the most popular encounters was when the Shermans who lived on Skinwalker Ranch shot a massive wolf-like animal multiple times at point-blank range, and despite being hit, it didn't flinch. Apparently, its eyes just glowed, and it calmly walked away. Thing is, almost every encounter seems different. Some sound like cryptid sightings, others like hauntings, still others scream alien activity. And that's the thing that draws the attention of so many. It's how the mystery defies reason. Now, before continuing, it's important for us to pause for just a moment. For the Navajo, skinwalkers aren't just creepypasta monsters. They're real, tied to witchcraft, fear, and sacred traditions. The Navajo people have made it very clear that much of this knowledge is not meant for outsiders, and looking too far into true skinwalkers is discouraged. Some in their community even stated the truth would encourage outsiders to seek the power of skinwalkers with the intent to cause harm to those around them. So, while modern pop culture has spun them into cash cow horror icons, it's respectful to separate Navajo belief from internet legend. What we talk about online is not the same as what the Navajo talk about within their own community. So, why do skinwalkers pique our curiosity? It's because they embody our primal fears. That people we trust could be monsters in disguise, that the wilderness hides predators wearing familiar faces, and that the human form itself can be corrupted into something uncanny. We think of them living in the liminal space between human and animal, between witchcraft and UFOs, between folklore and modern sightings. They've become slippery, undefinable, and that's exactly why they stick in our imagination. So, what are skinwalkers really? In Navajo tradition, they're witches who turned away from healing and balance, committing the darkest acts for power. However, in modern paranormal culture, they've become something along the lines of a catch-all for anything remotely uncanny. For the Navajo people, skinwalker stories are not entertainment, they're sacred, powerful, and deeply feared. Outsiders like us are only hearing fragments. The full truth belongs to the Navajo community, and it's just not ours to claim. Still, the echoes of the Skinwalker legend remind us why we chase the paranormal in the first place. It asks of us to sit with mystery and approach the strange with both caution and wonder. What I would have you understand is that curiosity doesn't mean prying open doors that aren't ours. It means recognizing when to listen, when to respect, and when to keep searching for truths that are meant to be found. Stay curious.